All right. So today is a brand new week, which means we have a new secret password. Does anyone know what this letter is? This starts your first name, Kyla. I mean your last name. It makes a ha. The letter H. Ha. Heart. House. Hat. Take your hand. You gotta leave your mask on. You can't really feel it through your mask, but you can kind of feel it vibrate off your mask when you say and that's the sound that the H makes, like happy baby. And happy baby is our yoga pose today. So I'm gonna bring this right on down here so our friends can see while we get on the floor for a moment. And nope, stay right on your spot. We have to stay on our spots, right? It's very important to keep our germs separate. So, a happy baby. Usually babies lay down, so let's go ahead and lay down. And Maggie, yep, there you go. Oh, so good. And we're going to, let's take some cries. Wah, wah, wah. And then we're going to take a big breath in. And we're going to blow it out. And we're going to be a happy baby. Goo, goo. Go, go. Feel that stretch in your back. Oh, uh-oh. Sad baby. Wah, 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 wah. Breathe in. And blow out. Woo, happy baby. Ha, 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 go, go, go. Oh, did you feel all that stretching in your back muscles?
Yeah,
that felt good. Well, we can do it one more time. Wah, wah, wah. Breathe in. And up to happy baby. Ha, 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 goo, goo, go. Ha, ha. All right, very good. Go ahead and come to your sitting positions. And we are going to bring our friends back up to here so they can have story with us. Oh, that made my body feel so ready. So, we have a brand new story, one that we've never read before. And its title is Matthew and Tilly. It's written by Rebecca Jones and illustrated by Beth Peck. So we see that there's a girl. I'm going to scooch a little bit closer right here so our friends can see a little clearer. There's a girl and a boy on this cover. My phone just toppled down. And it looks like they're inside a building, looking out of the windows. It's a Monday. So, these children live in what's called a big city. And if you live in a city, that means that there's lots of people around you and lots of buildings. And sometimes there's very tall buildings and lots of apartments. And usually it's really noisy. And it's just very, very, it's lively. Miss E grew up in a city. And if you don't live in a city, you live in, some people call it the countryside, some people call it a town. Do you think living up here, do you think it's a city or a country? The countryside or the city?
a school.
We are in a school, we are. What do you think, countryside or city? What about at home? What do you think? So, I'm going to let you know, we live in the countryside. Usually, if you go outside of your house, you don't hear a lot of cars honking or a lot of people chatting or lots of noise at all. It's a very quiet place usually. And there's not a lot of buildings very close to each other. There's not usually, there are apartments and there are little, they're called tight-knit communities. There's lots of people that live close together that they could walk to each other's house. But in a city, there's lots of people that don't even own a car. So let's find out what is the story about Matthew and Tilly. Why are we learning about them? I love how still you're sitting. Good job. Matthew and Tilly were friends. Ooh, down here. They are friends. Looks like it's raining in that picture. They rode bikes together and they played hide and seek together. They sold lemonade together. When business was slow, they played sidewalk games together. Oh my gosh. They're playing sidewalk chalk just like Peter does.
Maybe.
And I'm noticing that there's lots of other people in these pictures. It's not just like when Peter was in his story and it was kind of just Peter and Willie on the sidewalk. There's lots of people in these pictures. And sometimes they ate ice cream cones together. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking this is an ice cream shop. Once they even rescued a lady's kitten from a tree together. They're taking the kitty from the tree, bringing her down safely on a ladder to safety. That's what it means to rescue somebody. You take them to a safe place. So the lady said thank you by giving them some money for a bubblegum machine. And later they chewed gum together and remembered how brave they were. They were not afraid to save that cat. They were brave. They had to use money to buy the gumballs. Isn't that interesting? I think Little Red Hen used money. Sometimes, though, Matthew and Tilly got sick of each other. One day, when they were coloring, Matthew broke Tilly's purple crayon. He didn't mean to do it, but he did. Oh, it was an accident. You broke my crayon, Tilly said in her crabbiest voice. It was an old crayon, Matthew said in his grouchiest voice. It was ready to break. No, it wasn't, Tilly said. It was a brand new crayon and you broke it. You always break everything. Stop being so picky, Matthew said. You're always so picky and stinky and mean. Well, you're stupid, Tilly said. You're so stupid and stinky and mean. Oh, that word, it makes my heart cringe. Oh, I don't like that word. It's just like, oh, when Nora said that, oh, her sister told her she was so dumb. Oh, those words are so hurtful. Oh my gosh. Oh. I'm thinking that Matthew might be feeling pretty sad that Tilly would say that word to him. Oh, my heart. I'm so sorry, Matthew. Oh, so Matthew stomped. He heavily banged his feet as he was going up the stairs all by himself. Very, very sad.
I'm fast. Mommy broke one of my plans.
I wonder if he's more upset at the words she said. Tilly found a piece of chalk and began drawing numbers and squares on the sidewalk all by herself. So she's now playing by herself too. Upstairs, Matthew got out his cash register. Oh, it's like a machine that, like a grocery store or a convenience store or any store that accepts money, they store their money in what's called a cash register, and they can give customers change from the cash register if they give them too much money. So he got out his register and some cans so he could play store. He piled the cans extra high. This was the best store he had ever made, probably because that picky and stinky and mean old Tilly wasn't around to mess it up. But he didn't have a customer. He didn't have somebody to buy all the product that he just put out in his store. And playing store wasn't much fun without a customer. Oh. You can see his cash register. You can see all his cans. But nobody's there to buy them because him and Tilly aren't getting along. That doesn't sound like fun. Have a store and nobody to buy anything? Tilly finished drawing the numbers in squares. She drew them really big with lots of squiggly lines. This was the best sidewalk game she had ever drawn, probably because that stupid and stinky and mean old Matthew wasn't around to mess it up. But she didn't have anyone to play with, and sidewalk games were not much fun without another player. She can't race to play the game. She can't have a winner to win while playing the game. It's just her. Nobody else. Matthew's feeling alone. Tilly's feeling alone. And they're both upset with each other. I wonder what's going to happen. We're getting to the end, so I don't know. Are they going to stay crabby with each other? Or are they going to do something here? Matthew, up in the window here, inside the building, and Tilly's down here on the sidewalk outside. Matthew looked out the window and wondered what Tilly was doing. Tilly looked up at Matthew's window and wondered what he was doing. She smiled just a little, because remember, she's crabby. She can't be smiling if she's crabby. That was enough for Matthew. "I'm sorry," he called. "So am I," said Tilly. They apologized. I wonder what's going to happen after they apologized. So Matthew came running down the stairs so they could play. And they played together again. They were no longer apart. There was two friends playing. The end. So, I want to just first off start by saying, I know sometimes our books have words that aren't kind. And just because they're in a book, it doesn't mean that we should use them in the classroom. Okay, so this book says the word stupid, but that, it even burns my tongue to say it. I don't like that word. And it makes other people feel really, really sad. So while you're reading the book, you could say it while reading the book, but it should not happen outside of the library area, okay? Because that word is very, very, very hurtful. And we saw in the story that when it was said to the friends, when Tilly said it to Matthew, Matthew didn't want to play anymore. It hurt him so much, he left. He said, "I need to be away from you right now because you hurt my heart so much. And I don't want you to accidentally hurt one of your friends' hearts, okay?" But, all that aside, I was wondering, let me get this page right here. So in this picture, we see that this is the one that Matthew calls down to Tilly, and they apologize. Do you think that Tilly is going to call Matthew that again? Or do you think she's learned that it's not really a good choice because then she ends up alone? What do you think?
No.
You don't think she's going to use it again?
No.
I hope you're right.
No.
Oh, makes me so sad when friends aren't getting along. And sometimes we have to learn, right? Maybe Tilly had to learn that she can't use that word. And maybe Tilly had to learn that it's so much easier to just say, "Oh, Matthew, you broke my crayon," instead of having a fit about it. I'm sure she was very, very upset. And I'm sure you would be upset, or even your teachers might be upset if we were to break a crayon, or if somebody was borrowing something that we lended them and they broke it, it would make us very upset. But it was an accident. Matthew didn't mean to. Sometimes it happens. You're using something and it just breaks. So it's always a good idea just to go to the friend and say, I am so sorry that this happened, but I broke this. What can I do to make it right? What can I do to make you feel better? And sometimes they might just say, could you draw me a picture? Maybe they might say that I need an air hug. There's lots of ways that we can make a situation better. But calling someone stupid is never, ever, 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 ever going to make a situation any better. All right? So let's see if we can learn from Matthew's and Tilly's mistakes and be kind friends. I know we've got a bunch of kind friends in our classroom and in our remote classroom. So many kind friends. We can head on over and wash our hands and we'll sit down for breakfast. All right? Head on over there, sweet girl. And we're going to say bye-bye.